And we are live. They didn't actually take their time this week, Chris.
They did last week.
I'm sure it did. That's just sod's law. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Talking Tech episode 34. Somehow we're on the 34th episode. Welcome to the weekly podcast, mostly, of MobileTechTalk.co.uk. I am your host. I am Dom. Joining me, as always, is Chris and Mark. Say hello, guys.
Hello.
So, this has kind of been a kind of boring week, which is great for me because I'm feeling like crap and I don't really have much mental capacity. But
I thought you didn't have much mental capacity at the best of times.
Yeah, but no, I ran out of coffee today. I haven't been able to go out and buy more. It's been really rough. Anyway, so should we just get into it? Because again, there's not really much follow up. So, all right, Mark, do you want to talk about this first one, seeing as you're the one that decided to add it in?
Okay, helps if I have the notes up. So, right, I'm going to assume it's the emergency services one, yep?
It is indeed.
Oh, goody. Right, essentially, Google is rolling out a new feature into Android in collaboration with emergency services. And at the moment, the only two countries where this is enabled is the UK and I think Estonia.
Yes, Estonia.
Yes, which...
Android 2.3 or later, by the way.
Yes, and because people don't know, Estonia is a country that has all sorts of online digital super savviness, where I believe you can vote via text message and shit like that.
Oh, that is the best. Because when it was, sorry, this side note, when we had to vote recently here, it was pissing it down, and I did not want to leave the car. If I could have voted by text, it would have been the best.
Poor dog.
Yeah, Estonia has been one of the, the Baltic, Baltic tigers, if you want to call them that. That with the fall of the Soviet Union, I mean, they have just absolutely embraced, Nordic-style consumerism and capitalism and run with it. They are Estonia, especially, very, very, very tech country. Also, where I think Skype's from.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I'll Google that. That sounds interesting.
Skype, I'm sure, was originally created in Estonia. But anyway, yeah, emergency services. So what this does is when you phone up 999, if you call from a landline, that information will be handed over to the emergency services to tell you exactly where that call's coming from. But doing that on a mobile, they don't know so much. The network knows what mast you're attached to, but that mast can cover quite a significant area.
So yeah, if they triangulate you from a couple of masts, that is a couple mile radius.
Potentially, it depends on where you are, on how far away the masts are from you. In a city, it's closer. Yes. But essentially, what this does is this enables the emergency services to access as best as the phone can provide location services. So that will include Wi-Fi location and GPS if it's available to a handset.
Which is really cool, and I can't, as I said in the notes, I can't believe this isn't a thing already. But it's super cool, and super useful. Like I said, there are times, hopefully none of us are ever in them, where you have to call the emergency services and you are in such shock that you can't.
It's not even just a case of whether you're in shock. It's if you're wandering around in town, and I don't know about yourselves, but whilst I know where things are located, I know what shop's on what street. Could I tell you the name of that street? Could I tell you what number to the nearest 100? What it is?
I'm the same. I recently, the other day, called, it's not the emergency services, but it was the AA, and I was in the bit where I can tell you smack bang exactly where I am, but I can't give you a road name.
Yeah. It's like the age-old thing. It's like when you've broken down on the motorway. It's like use the roadway phone, not your mobile, because they know exactly where you are. That roadway phone is like your mobile. They know exactly, not your mobile, your landline. They know where that is. With your mobile, they haven't got a clue.
Well, in fairness, the AA app will you can now authorize it to tell your GPS data to them. So,
oh god, I've got to get the AA app. Thank you guys. You just
So
reminded me.
I tried it and it wasn't as effective. I always ring them, but the bit that really annoyed me is I said I'm at junction 11 of the M42. He had junction 15 in his mind for some reason. He went, what's the name of the road? I don't know. It's just off the motorway.
Yeah.
It's needs a sack.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, none of us know like bloody street names or anything. So this.
We live in a world where most people don't know their own mobile number. So asking people to.
Out loud.
Huh?
I do, but I'm not going to say it out loud.
Yeah, no, that's something I made that mistake once. I left my my mobile number in a YouTube video once. That was a massive clusterfuck. But no, we live in a world where most people don't know their own mobile numbers, their mum's mobile number, their house phone number, if they even have a house phone anymore. So asking people to know exactly where they are, street name and number, is nigh on impossible.
I know. My
Exactly.
number, my mum's number, and my granddad's number, which is quite convenient, because if I break down, I always ring my granddad first, because he can get out quicker than the AA can.
There you go. And I forgot to leave a phone on vibrate. Let me try and figure out which phone that is.
Oh, yeah, no.
That's normally...
That is a serious problem.
Do you want to know the solution, Dom?
Throw
Stop
them
having
out
so
the
many
window?
phones.
Just have two, and leave one on silent all the time.
Yeah, but no, Chris, I actually have on my desk at the moment 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 phones on my desk currently. Two of which I'm reviewing, one of which has my SIM card in. But I do this thing once a week where I turn them all on, update all the apps, and then turn them back off. And I just very poorly placed that doing it right now. So it's been turned off for a week. I've just turned it on, and it's the worst.
I was saying to that work, because if you don't know, if people don't know, I've got the Huawei P9 Plus from Vodafone, and that is locked to Vodafone, so I'm using the Vodafone SIM card. I put that in my pocket at work and left my phone purposely in my jacket pocket. I walked back to about 20 notifications in the space of 3 hours.
That seems quite tame, but it might just be me.
That was a lot for me. It was,
Now,
just asking to join the group on Facebook, which really annoys me. So Facebook, if you listen, remove that feature. Don't send me a push notification.
So apart from me pretty much just signalling that I'm ripe to be mugged, apparently, should we just move on to the next one, which has kind of got me interested, seeing as although I utterly despise huge phones, I am in the market for a very huge phone for someone.
Get a 6p.
Sorry, what was that, Chris?
6p. Job done.
Too small.
How flaming big do they want it? Just buy them a tablet with a SIM card.
I'm on the verge of buying them a Xiaomi Mi Max, which is 6.4 inches.
Just get them as original Nexus 6, or is that still too small?
You could look at, what was that Samsung tablet that back in the day, because they were selling it as a tablet, but because Google was being arsy, they essentially gave it all full phone functionality.
Oh, the original Galaxy Tab.
Yeah, I think so.
The Switch did one as well.
There's a problem with both of these arguments, guys.
Because they're super old.
Exactly. The Xiaomi Mi Max came out like
what
4 or 5
about the
months
Samsung
ago.
Galaxy Mega? Is that still going?
No, that is not.
Yeah,
I thought it was still
Also, that's a pile of shit compared to the Xiaomi Mi Max, and I can get a really good deal on the Mi Max. Anyway, Huawei / Honor. Those of you that don't know, Honor are a sub-brand of Huawei for digital natives. A brand I'm still trying to. I really want to like the term digital native, but every time I hear it, I want to like gouge my ears out.
Yeah, I like the brand, I like the company, I like their products, but this obsession they have with the term digital natives, I'm sorry, it's the biggest pile of marketing people wank ever.
It's just about as bad as their software.
No, their software's alright.
EMUI is getting there, but digital
not as
native.
much as I'd like.
Yeah, no, me either, Chris. So, Honor / Huawei have announced the Note 8. So they're obviously taking a jab at Samsung, who's just about to launch the Note 7 tomorrow, who themselves have missed out an entire fucking number. So Huawei / Honor just jumping straight to number 8. What?
Didn't the Note 5 come out? It was just for somewhere in particular. I can't remember.
No, it came out everywhere except for either just the UK or the EU. It went everywhere apart from the EU/UK.
I'm going to say it skipped somewhere.
Shitting hell, Chris, let me finish this. The Honor Note 8 is a 6.6-inch, 2560 by 1440 OLED beast with a Kirin 955 4,500 mAh battery, up to 4 gig of RAM and 128 gig internal storage, micro SD slot, USB-C, Android 6.0. 219 grams. Like this thing is big.
I kind of want.
We don't know, and from speaking to a couple of people earlier today, this is not likely to come to the UK or like Europe in general.
No,
for,
this China
reasons.
Well, all that really means is you can't buy it attached to a carrier. If you really want it, hit the internet.
No, because like there are a couple of Honor phones that they don't sell on contract or through a carrier, but you can still get from like Amazon or direct from them. This is going to be like you're going to have to buy it through like a GearBest importer.
Yeah, which is easy done if you really want a particular device.
Yeah. So, this thing is just fucking huge. So, 2,300 yuan, so $345 for the 32 gig variant. And then, like I said, remember this goes up to 128 gigs. This is insane. I really want to see one of these because that is just under 2 inches over my preferred screen size.
All I'm going to say is do not buy it if you wear skinny jeans.
So me.
Yes.
Actually, I bought a pair of skin jeans the other day that had really deep pockets, and I was so happy. I was like,
to be honest, no one with a penis is going to buy this phone anyway.
Yeah, got a point. Or if they're one of those dudes that carry a handbag, or what are they called?
A man bag.
Like I said, no one with a penis is going to buy one of these.
We're not allowed to say that.
It's kind of cool. It's fucking massive. It's pretty much a Huawei P9 without the cool cameras, but it's just a fucking monster. It's got 50% more battery. 50% more battery than the Huawei.
I tell you what this is good for. If you are one of these people that like to take out your CD player, tape player, head unit, that's what I'm looking for. I was
about to say, Chris, have you ever even seen a tape player?
In a car, yes.
In a car?
Yes.
Wow.
And a van. And a lorry. I've seen one in a lorry as well.
If it's like a VW minibus, it doesn't count.
Seen them in them as well. You could easily mount this in your car due to it being so big.
If you had this with like a data-only SIM from giffgaff, and then you just had Automate running all the time, which is pretty much like Android Auto. It's like great. I have a phone mount in my car. Whenever I go driving, I put that in. I open up Automate. That was my camera, and it's pretty great. But if I just had it in my dash, it'd be even better. There's not really a lot to say here apart from this is like a P9 Max that Chris has got, but you took one of the cameras out, and you just kind of like attached a helium pump to it, blew it up a bit, and then you like steamrolled it again. You gave it some
steroids and steamrolled it.
Yeah, you could do that. But again, this thing is just fucking massive.
I want one.
And again, I think we all kind of want one aside from Mark.
Yeah, well, it would be interesting to play with, but at that size, it would never be my day phone.
Oh god, no, it's far too. Like I said, it's almost 2 inches higher than my preferred screen size.
Yeah, this would be if I was looking for a replacement for the Huddle 2 that I have.
Mm-hmm.
Like this would be a great replacement for that. but as my actual use as a phone,
it's far too big.
Yeah, it's too big. It's just too big.
At least for guys who actually put things in their pocket.
Yes, I think even it would be too big for my work trousers that have pockets everywhere.
Yeah. So, moving on, Chris, have you got the next tab open?
The LG V20.
Yes.
So, if anybody remembers about a year ago, was it a bit more than a year ago?
Let's be honest, I don't remember this phone.
I don't remember.
I remember the phone quite fondly. I don't remember when it came out,
released.
how much it cost, anything like that, because it's not important whatsoever.
No.
Yeah, so LG...
It was a flop in the most spectacular sense.
Yeah, so LG tried to do obviously they made the V10, and the main thing that people knew this for was the two screens, and I use two screens very lightly. If you didn't know, it was just a standard. Don't quote me on the size.
Actually, no, you're wrong. It is actually two separate screens with two different display drivers.
It is, but I wouldn't consider the second screen, which is the top screen, a screen
basically,
because it's a strip.
Yeah, if you looked at it,
oh no, you
would immediately go, "Wow, there's two screens."
So
when you said like the one thing people remember it for, I was like, he's going to say the two front-facing cameras, and he was like,
"Oh yeah, I forgot about that as well."
This is how non-memorable this phone is.
Yeah,
I remember the V10 as the dual-screened phone.
See, I totally forgot about the dual screen because it was utterly fucking useless.
That's the bit I was getting at. Most people were trying to use it, and in the end, what they ended up doing, and I know Android authorities, Joe Hindi did this, they disabled the second screen whilst the first screen was on, and had it so the second screen was on when the first screen was off, just to get better battery out of it.
Yeah, what this reminded me of is, Chris, you won't remember, but Dom, do you remember clamshell phones?
Oh yeah.
And do you remember when they started having a little secondary screen on the front?
Yeah. I used one of them.
You know, whether it was a text message that had came in, the name of who it was that was ringing you, so you could decide whether to open it and answer the call or not.
Or if you had a really, really fancy one, you could use it as a preview when you were taking a photo.
Yeah, I'm not sure anyone ever really did that with it, but yeah, I mean that's what this dual screen was for, except you're already looking at the big giant screen, so why?
And let us not forget, this is fucking massive. It was a 5.7-inch screen, and then you had this 1.2-inch screen on top of it. And then
you had the bezels.
Then huge bezels top and bottom.
Yeah, nothing about this product made any sense. This was somebody in LG.
I mean, you'd love it, Mark. It's got a great DAC in it. You'd love it.
Yes, that was another thing it was
people
known
did say it was good.
Yeah, it has like some high-end Wolfson DAC in it or something like that. I'll find out for you afterwards.
Okay. But yeah, this to me seems like somebody in LG made a bet with a manager, they won the bet, and they got to produce their weird and wacky designs. How this actually made it into production, I don't know.
The people I know the people that I've spoke to that have had one have actually quite like it. I mean, I've just Google searched LG V10, and they're currently going for about 330, 340 for 64 gigabyte models.
Which is a good price given that how well spec'd it is, but it's just nobody was walking into a car from warehouse and going, "But that's the phone I want."
I don't think it even came out in the UK. The only people I know that did it was in the US and in Korea.
Maybe. Put it this way, if you'd have been a buyer of a car from warehouse, would you have been going, "Wow, LG, well, we want..."
Fuck no, it's an LG phone.
Exactly. I mean, you would have gone, we could sell maybe 5?
It's the ESS Sabre 9018C2M.
Okay.
That's the DAC, and the amp or the headphone amp is the ESS 9602C.
Yeah, that's reasonably.
It's a 32-bit hi-fi DAC apparently.
So that should be quite reasonably sounding, although you can never exactly tell unless you try it. But on paper, yeah. But this just seems like an engineer at LG won a bet and was allowed to produce their weird and wacky concept phone.
I always liked it.
You're wrong.
I liked it, but if I'm not mistaken, it didn't come with a fingerprint scanner.
It did. It just came with a really shit one.
Yeah, even though you like it, would you have paid £500 for this?
No.
Would you pay £333 for it?
Yeah, more. If it new.
Would you trade your 6p for it?
Fuck no! I wouldn't trade anything. I wouldn't trade anything for the 6p.
Well, there you go.
Actually, after playing with a P9 Plus, it's a fairly strong competitor. It just lacks front-firing speakers.
Oh yeah, no, that's the one thing I didn't really like on the P9. But honestly, if you want sound, you've got to try an Idol. Either the Idol 3 or the Idol 4S. They are both amazing.
The thing is, though, I did notice the bottom speaker isn't actually that bad. It's no front-firing quality, but it's probably one of the best.
It's facing the wrong way, and once you get above like 70-75%, then it starts to.
I found I've not needed to get any more than 50%, if that. It's plenty loud enough, and as long as you don't cover it and just hold, I normally hold them like that, but I can get away with holding it like that. As long as you don't cover it, it is actually really nice.
Yeah, it's facing the wrong way.
Yeah. Yeah, LG will be releasing in September the successor to the V10, the V20. Could have guessed the name really, and it will ship with Android Nougat, 7.0, whatever you want to call it, out the box.
And no one will buy it.
Oh, of course not. It's like the G5. No one bought that either. For obvious reasons.
October last year, the V10 came out.
Okay. So, roughly, like, 11 months difference.
By the way, can I just say, I do know somebody that bought a G5.
I know someone that bought a G5 and then returned it 2 days later.
No. They've kept it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It does look nice, the G5,
In
but
fairness,
it doesn't.
To them, they bought the Bang & Olufsen DAC module thing first. They liked that and decided that it would be easier if they
just
had
bought the phone
the
it went
phone
with
as well. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, like I said, it's the V20 is coming out in September, so 2 months from now. It's going to, oh no, next month. Oh, how the shit is it August already?
I know, I was like that. I'm
Chris,
on holiday
you're
next
young.
week.
It doesn't matter for you. Like every time I blink, it seems to be another month.
Yeah. Do you want to really start moaning about because it's August? Like I live in Edinburgh. Do you know what happens to this city in August?
Tourists everywhere, like the plague.
Yeah. Basically, the population of the city doubles, but we have this thing which pretty much every other point of the year is really handy. On the buses, all bus journeys cost the same amount.
That's useful.
Every bus journey, single journey, is £1.60. Right?
Oh,
That's
that is so cheap.
And if you want a day saver, a day ticket, it's £4, and you can jump on and off buses all day long to your heart's content. That's fine.
Oh, that is like the only reason I want to live in Edinburgh. That is so cheap.
Now, why this is a bad thing in August is buses do not give you change. So because you have to have correct change, or if you put in more money, well then that's your problem and you don't get change. Tourists, for some reason, cannot fathom this. They cannot understand it. They also cannot comprehend every bus journey you take, even if it's one stop, or if it's 5 miles to the other end of the route, costs £1.60. They don't understand this, and the city.
And they argue with the driver.
Center. Well, not so much that they argue; they just don't seem to understand.
They could knock it down to £1.50 to make it a little easier on change, I suppose.
Well, it used to be. They just raised prices. But
I mean, everywhere could just have an Oyster card and make everything super easy, but whatever.
But it causes chaos in the city. And if you have to go anywhere in Edinburgh, you essentially want to avoid the centre of town because you literally cannot get anywhere for tourists because the buses will basically grind to a halt in the city centre. Then if you encounter the Royal Mile, which you literally need a machete to cut your way through, it's impossible. You cannot do anything.
See, what you're telling me, Mark, is if I come to Edinburgh in August,
To just
make sure
fuck you off.
make sure I bring the motorcycle to filter like hell. And avoid the buses at all costs.
Yeah, I don't think
Or
I would
just
ever
walk.
recommend using a motorcycle in Edinburgh, and you're
walk.
asking for death.
Also, Mark,
Yeah.
is that a mass drop box in the background?
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
It is.
I can't read it. I can just kind of roughly see the shape, and I'm like, is that mass drop? Anyway, so speaking about Android Nougat, whatever you want to call it, Android 7.0 is rumored to drop to the public on August 5th with the August security update. Now, this kind of seems a bit odd, seeing as the August security update came today and the BlackBerry Priv already has it, which...
Did it come today?
Say what you want about BlackBerry. They are doing security properly. There has not been a single month where the Nexus has gotten it before the Priv.
I'm just checking the 6P now because I literally haven't used this thing because I've been using the P9. Check for updates. No, not on the 6P.
So maybe the Priv got the August 5th patch on August 1st, whatever. But yeah, so the Android 7.0 public release is meant to drop on August 5th. I no longer have any official devices that can run this. Chris does. Chris, I believe, is the only one amongst us that can. So on Friday, when I'm going out to see Suicide Squad on Friday, I'm going to be texting Chris like crazy, saying like, hey, what about Android 7? Is it out yet? Chris, is it out yet? Is it out yet? Chris, is it out yet?
You know what I'll do, don't you? I'll just go mute.
I'll figure out. I'll get another Slack account and I'll tell.
I'm quite fortunate, as in, I just mute Slack, and as long as I mute both phones, I should be fine.
I'll find a way, man. Don't worry, I'll find a way. Like a Twitter troll, I will find a way.
So, if you think about emails, I'll just sign out totally.
Man, I have to deal with emails so often. That's like a threat to me. Like I utterly despise like email so much, but I have to use it for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like saying like if you email me, that's like giving me like a fucking vampire garlic. I don't want to use email. I have to use email.
You have to use it.
So yeah, Android 7 is meant to come out on the 5th. From what I've heard, this last developer preview has been super stable. Everyone seems to really enjoy it, and it continues the trend of being the update the last update should have been.
The only problem with this, if this does come out on Friday the 5th, is I'm going away on Friday the 5th. I'm leaving home at about 7 o'clock. So I'm going to literally be sat on holiday, not knowing what to play with.
There's a joke there. I'm far too tired, but there is definitely a joke
there. There is a joke there. Do I play with a P9 or do I play with
Son of a bitch, Chris, come on.
I could have said M8, and that would have sounded worse.
Could I play with the mate or the P9?
Or the 6P, that's going to be...
Wait, so moving on, because it's just going to cause me some kind of like cyst or tumour.
OnePlus... You don't have to say that anymore.
What, cyst or tumour?
Yeah, I know some people get a bit mardy when you say, oh, this is going to cause me a cyst or tumour.
No, people get mardy when you say, oh, is it going to give me cancer?
Oh, right, that's the one.
A tumour does not mean cancer. And seeing as like tumours, cysts, and like diabetes run in my family, I'm probably going to get it anyway. So, speaking of cysts, tumours, diabetes, whatever, something OnePlus has done is not going to give me one of those three things. Dash Charge, which is their proprietary, they licensed it from Oppo, who kind of owns them. They licensed VOOC from Oppo to build Dash Charge. Dash Charge is fucking awesome, but because of the way Dash Charge works, it is very different than Quick Charge. It's again built in to essentially recognize the charger as well as a cable, and all the smarts are inside the charger and the cable for this type of fast charging. They are providing the kernel code free of charge, like open source, so custom ROMs can have Dash Charge support, which is actually pretty great.
So I think I was meant to ask you, Dom, with your P9, did it come with a Type A to Type C cable or Type C to Type C?
Type A to Type C, and the plug was 5V 2A.
Yes, this is the. I think that's the same as what came in with the P9 Plus. It's just I remember when I opened it, because I had to go to the sorting office to get it because the postie was a bit of an arse.
Is that what you were waiting for, that the postie was being an arsehole with?
Yeah, no, what it was is I stuck a note on the door saying, well, there was, like, remains, it's obviously blown off in the wind, but my postie knows to drop all my if he doesn't get a response, to drop all my packages off at the neighbour.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, I do not know why, it wasn't. So I got the card, and I looked at the card and went, no, this isn't a normal postie, it's filled in with too much detail. Like my postie, if there's a bit of post, instead of using the card, he'll just write on the envelope, parcel at house number. And I went to rebook it online, and they said, you can have it by Saturday? This is 2 days.
It's 2 days. Yeah, why Royal Mail now makes this, does this, I don't know.
It used to be a day, you could have it re-delivered next day. Brilliant.
Yep. I once on the phone asked them about this because I was complaining about an issue, and the story they gave was so that enables them for route planning, because apparently if it's coming in the normal post and doesn't arrive in the depot till stupid o'clock at night or stupid o'clock in the morning, apparently that they can magically get into that day's post. But if it's been sat there for a day already, they can't.
That's what I couldn't understand. So I thought, okay, let's look at
the real reason is because they want to be awkward as hell.
Yes.
That's why they want to be awkward. They either want to make you do the legwork of coming out and getting it rather than them re-delivering it, or they like the option of charging you for delivering it to your local post office. And in fairness to Royal Mail, they're all getting really bad for this. I've been this week between Royal Mail, DHL, and UPS. I'm ready to burn them all down.
Oh, see, I had a really bad issue with UPS a couple of months ago. Never again.
I don't mind. I knew I wasn't going to be in for a re-delivery, so I didn't mind paying the 70p for change. But the fact I would have to pay the 70p and then not get it 2 days later was no. So some quick maths worked out it was 20p cheaper to go on the bike and go get it myself. It cost me 50p in fuel to go and get it.
Man, you're a better man than I, because I really couldn't be fucking asked to do that maths. Anyway, because I literally can't think of anything I want to talk about less than the post office. Lightning earpods. We've spoken about this a couple of times with regards to USB, Lightning, USB-C earbuds. Everything we've seen, especially in the last week, about all the leaked iPhone chassis, is that there will be no headphone jack. And we've seen this a couple of times. There have been some earpod leaks with a lightning jack, which is exactly what this is again. You can. This looks fake as shit, and it's all for one reason. That jack does not look like the official lightning jack.
I was going to say, this looks cheap and nasty.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the lightning jack Apple use on their cables that will break in 5 minutes.
The earpod things are cheap and nasty.
Yes, they are, but at least they're consistent.
Yeah, they will go and go and go. They'll sound crap, but they just work.
But no, not even that, Chris. The 3.5mm jack at the end of the earpods, the standard 3.5mm earpods, the jack at the end, the way that it is designed is similar in design to the way that the lightning cables on that end are designed, and is similar to how the 30-pin cables previously were designed. the way this lightning jack is designed is completely different to literally everything else
Oh,
they sell,
yeah.
which just throws the entire thing off. If this is real, I will be so surprised.
So will I, because that looks like some shit. They're not gonna like that. Looks like shit, cheap crap.
Like,
You
I've
basically
seen
went
fake
to
earpods that
Poundland,
look real.
cut the cable, and just hid it in photos. Like, resoldered the wires and hid it in photos.
There's not really much more to say, really, is there?
No, it looks like a Poundland cable and some free earpods that came in your iPhone box. Move on.
Like I said, there's not really much more to say. We don't know how they sound. They're probably going to sound exactly the same as the DAC and amp in the iPhone, so not great. And they're going to be included in the box, simple as. But those look fake. They might be real. They look fake.
I'll be surprised if they're real.
All right, so the last bit of news is one thing that I super want to talk about because I'm apparently a massive nerd. A couple of weeks ago, we spoke about the I think what's it called, the Nintendo Classic Mini, which
You
is
said that
essentially
you've pre-ordered one of these.
I have. I've actually pre-ordered two.
See?
It's the Mini NES that is like preloaded with. It's like those consoles you used to get about consoles. It's like those consoles you used to get about a decade ago that plugged into the RCA jacks in the front of your telly that had like 5 games preloaded. It's like that, but with like 30 of the best NES games. But for a while, people have been able to say like, well, I can just run an emulator on my Raspberry Pi and get every game. And that's pretty much what this guy here has done. He's 3D printed an NES case, which is 40% smaller than the normal NES. He's actually printed it in quite a high amount of detail.
Oh, God, yes.
But he's got a Raspberry Pi 2. He's desoldered the USB ports and moved them to the front of the case. And he's used the other 2 USB ports for one Wi-Fi receiver and another Bluetooth receiver. Because, again, the Pi 2 doesn't have Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. The Pi 3 does. He's added like an Arduino with an NFC reader in it. And he's 3D printed NES-shaped cartridges and stuck NFC tags on the inside of the NES cartridge, and then used his phone to write game files to the NFC tags. So when he puts the NES cartridge in the NES, clicks it in, shuts the door, and presses the power button, the Raspberry Pi Arduino NFC reader reads the NFC tag in the cartridge and then runs the game. So the cartridge is literally just saying, pick this file. It doesn't actually have any smarts in it apart from the NFC sticker. This is like, if this was done properly by Nintendo, like non-hacky way whatsoever, which it could very easily be done, I feel like this is what Nintendo should have done, but they should have also given you an option to just like open the game with an on-screen menu without having to put the cartridge in.
Yes. Though,
yeah, I think what you do. Sorry.
Because if you're doing the cartridge thing, that's like for nerds anyway. Even if it doesn't fix anything, you're gonna have nerds blowing the cartridges. Even if there's no electronics in there, they're gonna go and then click in. I was like, dude, that is a fucking sticker. You blowing is doing nothing. They're gonna do it anyway. But there's gonna be people that want to like sit down, plug their controller in, and play Super Mario Bros. 2, which is like the best Super Mario Bros.
Yeah,
so
there is a nostalgia value that is kind of off the charts on this.
Yeah.
So what I was going to say, using a cartridge method like how they used to, that would then enable for more games to be brought for it. But
it adds a lot of complication.
It adds complication, but it does mean more games can be added. And if I'm not mistaken, Nintendo turned around and said, the games you get are the games you're getting.
Yes, yeah. There's no internet, there's no expansion, so you can't like download new games. Like
that's fine because
again, it's the 30 best games of the console's lifetime.
Doesn't matter if there's 30 best games. There's probably 2 or 3 games that people are going to play.
The 3 Super Mario Bros. Are on.
Because by the middle of January, everybody is going to have stopped playing with it, and it's going to be sitting gathering dust. But on Christmas morning, this will be what everybody is doing.
Yes, it'll be like Pokemon Go. Gets launched,
Yeah.
everybody uses it, and it slowly kind of dies out
Yeah.
with the
Oh no,
occasional.
Pokemon Go sadly has not died out where I live. Oh my god.
It's,
Give it time. Give it time. Give it till the weather gets shit.
I'll put it this way:
It's
I've
fucking
given up on
Hastings. The
Pokemon
weather's
Go.
always shit because we live at the seaside, and then you get like salt spray when you walk across the road and ruin your hair.
Okay.
Ugh.
What I mean is, wait till it starts raining profusely, as it will do in autumn.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
Then
I
people will stop
say, I will say one thing. I will more than likely be building one of these.
You'd be stupid not to.
Like,
Is he selling these?
No, he's not. He wouldn't be allowed.
like,
He wouldn't be
if
allowed
he
to. There's so much Nintendo, like copyright infringement on just the case alone.
Well, I guess. But
like,
Nintendo would be dicks to do that.
Put it this way, Mark. Nintendo literally owned the font that is written on the front of this console.
Though he could, I suppose, kind of get if he doesn't have the. I don't see why he shouldn't, because it's only the same as companies making action cameras that use the GoPro mounting system.
Yeah, I suspect that's licensed. I mean, remember, Apple sued companies because they put a rounded corner on something.
Yeah,
oh, that's
and,
Apple,
and like I said, but Nintendo have been going after Let's Players on YouTube for years. Like Nintendo literally owned the font that Nintendo Entertainment System is written on the front of this console. Nintendo owned that font.
He'd have a better chance.
Yeah, but I will more than likely be building this. I have 5 Raspberry Pis as is. I'll probably buy another Raspberry Pi 3 so I don't have to solder a Wi-Fi jack on.
If you can't make the case, it's not going to be the same.
Oh no, I'm gonna do it on Shapeways. I'm gonna be like a lazy millennial and send the file to Shapeways and buy it for 30 quid.
He may release the files, but I don't know. I don't think they'll be. I think you'd literally have to get in direct contact with the bloke to get them, because I sure as hell don't think he's going to post them online. Because as soon as they get posted online,
as long as he's not selling them.
Yeah, I suppose if you stuck them on Thingiverse.
It's kind of a grey area. As long as he's not selling them, he can't really. As long as the files don't have the wording on the stuff, because it's really hard to print words like that. They're probably silk screened on.
They do.
I say silk screened. They're probably a sticker.
They do look like a sticker.
Yeah.
I think if you put it on...
Look at the fucking cartridges, man. He got fucking Pokemon Fire Red and Pokemon Blue, NES cartridges. Clicked it in, played the game, unclicked it, clicked it on his phone, changed the file name, did it again, and then played the newer version of that Pokemon game just by changing the name. And I was like,
I can't see why these patterns couldn't be released, especially if he's not charging for them. So stick it on Thingiverse, which is, if you don't know, is the 3D printing.
It's like 3D printing Google.
Yeah, if you want to, you look on Thingiverse first.
Yeah. So anyway,
are stickers.
I want one. I'd probably buy one if I could, but I'm probably gonna have to build one instead. But guys, this is so cool. Anyway,
Almost like a white girl at Starbucks.
I am all the nostalgia. So that's all the news done. Should we talk about review devices we have? Before I forget, I've got the Moto G4 Plus going in a couple of days. The review going in a couple of days. The Alcatel Idol 4S review is going a couple of days after that. And a couple of days ago, I received the Honor 5C in the post. So that is going to come in 2 weeks.
I've got as mentioned, the P9 Plus, which, as you can tell, I have actually I have taken a liking to this thing. My only gripe is in EMUI, and I think that's the same gripe everybody has, to be honest.
I mean, I own a P9, and my gripe is still EMUI. But like I said, EMUI 5, which is coming out later this year, is meant to solve a lot of the issues. I can't believe, and when I say this is someone who's tried pretty much every version of EMUI since 2.0 onwards. In the last 4 months, maybe, they actually fixed the whole notifications not showing properly, which is completely insane that it's taken them this long to fix it. But
yes, so I've got this till the 15th. I think I turn around and managed to get it to. Yes, so I'll send this back on the 15th. So I'm away next week, so I won't be here.
Oh, we're taking next week off because I want to sleep and drink.
Oh, so there's no podcast next week. You heard it first. So I've got this. I'm taking it on holiday with me. So we'll have some more photos than my usual amount. And I think that's literally it. I've got written in Trello it's sort of an app review. It's more of a program review, and it's a program called Friends. And if you're not familiar with Friends, which a lot of people aren't, it's basically an all-in-one messenger, and you can have multiple accounts of each program.
I thought you were going to say you can has all the cheeseburgers, but I think you might be too young for that, Chris.
I think so. So
Mark got it. Mark got it.
So I currently have in there Slack, 2 Slacks, Facebook Messenger, Discord, 2 Gmails, Hangouts, and Skype. Oh, TweetDeck as well. And the cool thing is you can add, and I know this one might appeal to Dom, WhatsApp as well. So it's basically a wrapper. And this is I want to say system application, or that might come out a bit wrong.
Yes, it's a Win32 app.
Yeah, that's the one I'm looking for. So it does give you notifications in the corner. So I should, if I get time, have that out for before or during whilst I'm away.
Oh, before I forget, I've also got an app review, which is a Marshmallow based fingerprint app lock. So it locks apps and then uses a fingerprint API in Marshmallow to unlock them.
I can't think of anywhere you'd need to use that.
You'd be surprised. On the Oppo F1 Plus, which doesn't have Marshmallow, you can lock system apps. So, like, not system apps. You can lock any app you download or system apps. So, like Snapchat or Instagram, you can lock them to use a password or your fingerprint. And there's things like my Slack, my work Gmail.
Have you not heard of this thing called a lock button? So this small button on the side of the phone.
I also have smart lock with my smartwatch, so as long as it's within Bluetooth range, it stays unlocked.
Yeah, but it's got a fingerprint scanner on it already, so it takes 2 seconds just to throw it into your hand and open.
Yeah, but what if I'm not using a phone? If I'm not using a phone with fingerprint scanner, I'm not using this app. But
that's what I was gonna say.
But again, like some still don't do that. Even if you've got a fingerprint set up, if you've got smart lock, it will still let you straight in.
So I'd just say the only time I ever used smart lock was on the M8 because it did not have a fingerprint scanner. I used to have it assigned to the smartwatch and the speaker wherever I've put it because I've got my desk in a mess.
Because I use so many phones for work and stuff, oftentimes I'm not using a phone actively, but I'll still want to use it. And because I have the same setup in every phone, if it has a fingerprint scanner, it's easier for me to just do that. Anyway, it's an app lock. It's actually really cool. Huawei's got one, Oppo's got one, a couple other people have got one, but this one actually looks like Google could have built it.
I think that's what a lot of companies like to go for.
It's
Google
buggy.
It's going to get more downloads. That's what they think.
It has a couple of issues with Instagram specifically. If you carry on scrolling for too long, it thinks for some reason that you've left the app and it will lock it again. But that's the bug that will get fixed. Again, it looks really nice. It does the whole material design thing where it pulls the main color from the app icon to do.
So basically, it's trying to stop people stalking as well.
Well, no, it's like if I've put my phone down on the table in a coffee shop and I've gone to the loo, it stops my mates going onto my Facebook and saying like Dom is so gay, ha 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 ha. It pretty much stops that. Like my friends are apparently like 10-year-olds from the year 2012, but whatever. So yeah, like I have it set up on. So again, the Oppo F1 Plus and the Huawei P9 have these app locks built in, but they look so jank, and I don't like that. This one looks really. Huh?
What is it? Just in settings?
It's really. I'll tell it to you in Slack afterwards.
Okay.
So you have to go into settings, and then security, fingerprint, app lock, and then there's a separate app called Phone Manager, and then you have to set it all that way. It's really bad. Anyway, Mark, have you got any headphones that are going live this week?
Going live this week. These ones will be.
Oh, they're the Superluxes.
They are.
Do you want to know how I know they're the Superluxes?
Yeah. Not
stalking Mark.
These Superluxes. I mean,
not that I'm looking. I'm waiting for Mark to post his Superlux review. It's the fact that the jack hangs out from the cup, and you put what is basically a 3.5mm extension into it. That is how I know it's the Evo, the HDs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So there is those. That will happen. There is other things that should probably happen. I think I will be trying to get these up this week, although I don't know, it might not happen. And they are the HE350s from Hi-Fi Man.
They look like they're from the 90s.
They look magnificent.
If you're wondering, these were what was in the mass drop box.
Ah, right. I should have guessed when I heard Hi-Fi Man. Anything else?
So that it's not a pair of headphones, but it's audio related. Essentially a Bluetooth speaker with a very kind of interesting
Canada-centric design.
Well, if I don't know how well it shows up, but if you look, it's actually a maps of the world.
Oh, okay.
The countries. If you kind of notice, Africa actually looks like Africa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it does.
Yeah, that's
It's
cool.
Yeah, because Canada's a big country with a short name, so it gets a big font.
Right.
Yeah. Europe, not so much. And Australia kind of gets cut off the bottom.
That is a really clever design, actually.
Yeah, it's like anyway.
Yeah.
And
Anyway, Bluetooth speaker, it's kind of interesting, doubles as a giant speakerphone. But more curiously, although they didn't send me it, but they might, they also do a Wi-Fi enabled version of this.
Oh, cool. Does it use like AirPlay or Google Cast or something like that?
It will use AirPlay, and what's really kind of weird is it can double as a Wi-Fi extender access.
Wow.
point.
Oh,
that is
cool.
So it's kind of like they've sent me this, and the difference in price between this and the Wi-Fi one is like a $5, and I'm just thinking,
Why does this one exist?
it's like why and how can I tell anyone buy this?
Why didn't
when
they
the
just
other one
combine
exists?
it? Just have the
two
all-in-one
versions.
speaker.
Well, because this is the version without Wi-Fi.
But what they should have done is they should have put Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, the whole shenanigans into a speaker, and then just sold that.
The Wi-Fi one does have Bluetooth as well. So it's
Why does it exist?
So why does this one exist? It's like, why would anyone buy this one when you can use the other one? And it's like the difference in cost is so small. I
Anyway,
I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking.
So that's our lovely group of. That's our lovely collection of what the fuck is happening this week.
Yeah, well, there's other things that might also try and happen this week. There's a bunch of things that I'm kind of trying to hurry up, especially that has been kind of being seen for weeks now. The meal at Pinnacles, not least of which because the nice chappie from Me Audio has given the little gentle, oh, how are you getting along? Reminder. It's like, oh yeah, shit, crap.
I love it when companies don't do that.
Speaking of, Mark, the other day I think I placed an order for those like kind of half-price knockoffs of the Me Audio M6 Pros. So
right.
I'll tell you what they sound like. Though my word doesn't really mean much coming to you.
Yes,
anyway,
though just what we're saying about Me Audio, how's your video coming along?
Oh man. You are literally the fucking worst. So, anyone that's done video knows how finicky SD cards are, especially SD cards that have been like written to for the last 3-4 years. So you might be shooting a load of stuff that seems great, and then you go plug it into your computer and it says your SD card doesn't exist. Yeah, that happened. Bear in mind, this is a 32 gig SD card with a lot of footage on it from more than one project.
Do you want to know the moral of the story?
Dropbox auto upload.
Backup, yeah, basically.
Yeah, Dropbox auto upload. Like, there is a reason.
It would have been great had it not failed within about 6 hours.
But the reason I bought this camera, right, because it's not that great, but was because it has Android, so I can just Dropbox, magic things.
The magic box.
One of my new camera, one of the features of my new camera that I'm getting soon is Wi-Fi, so I can do.
It's not so much the Wi-Fi; it's the Dropbox.
It's a Wi-Fi mesh network, which means any photos I take can instantly be backed up somewhere. And even if it's just like locally to like a USB stick in my router, I don't care. Like, I don't want to risk it. Anyway.
Better than nothing, but all I'm saying is that all cameras in the future should have Wi-Fi and Dropbox enabled. Because
Dropbox, Google Drive, iCloud, anything like something online like backup service.
Yeah.
So, Mark, you can go fuck yourself, but I'll also get the X7 Plus video done soon after I reshoot everything. This is why you storyboard and script everything out, people, because even if you lose all your footage, not all is lost. Anyway, this has been the 34th episode of Talking Tech, the weekly podcast from MobileTechTalk.co.uk. You can get us at www.mobiletechtalk.co.uk. The site is at mttfeed. I am at mobile_dom. Chris is at ChrisWallace959. Mark is at Mark2410. Oh my god, breathe. Instagram, we are Mobile Tech Talk. Facebook, Mobile Tech Talk UK. YouTube and Google+. Just search for Mobile Tech Talk because they won't give us a fancy URL yet. And last but not least, our Patreon, patreon.com/Mobile Tech Talk. If you give us some money, we can make some better shit for you. Thank you guys for joining me this week, as always. And as always, I'll see you next week. Goodbye.